Welcome to a fresh start. How are you? Hello. We are so glad to be back. I am so glad to be back with you for another session of a fresh start. We are so grateful that we have another opportunity to be together and to have time to uh, retrospect and also have time to get new perspectives on our fresh start and what are we doing and how we really saying that we want our fresh start uh we want our fresh start respected. How do we want it respected? I'm Shauna Grace and I am excited because while this is helping you, it causes me to reflect as well as I think about, what we talk about. And we thank our Heavenly Father for bringing these perspectives to us and talking with us and helping us to live a rich and abundant life, not in material things, but inner things. Okay. Excuse me. Already have prayed, and we are going on with our continuation, our of patience slash tolerance. We've been talking this week about the fine line between having patience and tolerating stuff. And I left off yesterday, those that were with me, I left off yesterday talking about a lot of times we are tolerating things. You have to put boundaries around your patience so it does not turn into tolerance. I talked about how when we raise our children, now I've seen some, they just keep right on talking, and then I've seen some that are like me. I'm gonna say it one time. If I have to say it again, it's not gonna be good for you. Okay. So, what we want to do is make sure that we engage in patience with boundaries. When you think about tolerance, you think about people a lot of time don't think about abuse. You think about, well, giving people time, and that's patience. Tolerance is when you have taught people that they can keep right on doing something and there's no consequences. Okay. They can keep right on doing something and there's no consequences. Okay. We teach people how to treat us. We teach people how to treat us. All right. Now, tolerance, excuse me. When you set a boundary and people maybe cross it one time, you know, you can have grace. You have patience with them because they have to learn who you are now. This may be somebody that have known you for years, and now you have a different flavor about yourself, and they're still treating you in how they knew you before, and you're trying to get over to them, okay, that this is no longer me. Now, excuse me, y'all, let me get some coffee. And while I'm at it, if you don't have a mug that says every day is a fresh start, I hope you have a mug, period, and have some coffee. Have some tea or something. Oh, that's good. That is so good. Okay, now, you've given them time. Now, with a situation like that, we're gonna talk about a few situations this morning with this tolerance thing, because our awareness about how we are doing has got to be awakened. Now, a person that's been knowing you 30, 40 years, y'all been cutting up the same 30, 40 years, been going to the same places, doing the same things, enjoying the same life experiences. Yeah, you're gonna have to have a little patience. You're not gonna be able to say it just one time and they got it. You get what I'm saying? That's not gonna work. All right, because they've been used to you in a different light. They've been used to you in a different light. Okay. But now that you are changing and your flavor is changing, you're gonna have to have a little more patience than just one time. But there still needs to be boundaries about how much you're going to tolerate until it runs over into disrespect. Okay? Because you don't look at it as disrespect at first, because they got to get used to it. You don't want to go to Longhorns anymore. I'm just using these for examples. I love Longhorn, especially their grilled shrimp salad. Oh. And so you don't want to go to Longhorns anymore. Okay. Your flavor has changed. You want to go to a more intimate place, a more place that has a different vibe, different flavor. So all of a sudden now you want to go to Olive Garden. And Olive Garden has a more intimate type, relational type flavor to its atmosphere. And so you want to go there. And they're like, girl, what you want to go to Olive Garden for? We've been going to Longhorn for years. Come on, we're going to Longhorn. You're like, no, I'm not doing Longhorn anymore. Well, all of a sudden, what's wrong with Longhorn? There's nothing wrong with Longhorn. I just don't want to go there. That's it. Oh, so now I said, look, then you have what you have to do then when they want to start acting like you're the problem. You have to say, listen, you all go ahead on and enjoy Longhorn. Okay. I'm going to Olive Garden. And if you decide that you're ever going to Olive Garden, call me. I'd love to go, to meet you all there, and we catch up on what's been going on. And leave it. Oh, you gonna spoil, because see, you'll hear this kind of stuff. Oh, you gonna spoil the day. You gonna do the no. I'm not spoiling anything. Okay. What I'm doing, I'm saying that I don't want to go to Longhorn anymore. I want Olive Garden now. I've had an experience going there and I like it there. So I'm going to Olive Garden. And if they want to keep talking, you let it go and say, hey, look, here's what's up. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to Olive Garden. I have to talk to y'all later. Now they're going to feel some type of way. Oh, honey, they're going to feel some type of way. Okay, they are. They don't feel some type of way. But you have to learn to be okay. And that's something we're going to talk about next week. Learning to be okay. Okay, with how people feel. Okay. You're going to have to learn to be okay. All right. So now that time went by, and it might have been a couple of weeks. because when people feeling some type of way, they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to be bothered with you. You rained on their parade, blah 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 blah. However, here's where the situation folds. Okay, here's where the situation folds. What you want to do is say to them, hey y'all, I'm not being funny. My flavor is just changing. Now, your BFFs, you need to have that conversation with them. Because if you remember, I told you, we're not explaining anything. My no is no and my yes is yes. We went over that, I believe it was last week, in the scripture where Heavenly Father had them to put in there, let your communication be yay, yay, nay, nay. Just let your talk be a simple yes from the Complete Jewish Bible, simple no. Okay? It didn't tell you to explain anything. It didn't tell you to try to, make people understand. It didn't tell you to do none of that. But your BFFs, because y'all all down here. You're not here. Y'all down here. Okay, y'all tired. I mean, 30, 40 years, that has to count for something, and you all are still tight like that. But now that you're changing, you have to stay focused on that change. And yes, you can tell them, look, y'all, I'm not being funny. My flavor is changing. Something in me is developing, and I like it. My flavor is changing, and I like it. I hope that doesn't end our friendship or relationship. And if it does, I just have to deal with that. But I have to stay true to who I am. I won't be good company going somewhere where I no longer desire to be. It won't be comfortable for me. And I'm learning how to be true to me. So that type of explanation is fine. Okay. That type of explanation is fine. Now, for coworkers or somebody of that sort, maybe y'all just been kicking it a year or two, and you find that no, this is not what I want to do anymore, then you can just tell them, no, I have something else I have to do this evening. Oh, you can't put it aside. Like, no, I cannot. But y'all have a good time and hit the door. That's it. You don't owe any explanation. Okay? Because not only must you be aware of tolerance for people, you must be aware of tolerance for places. You have to know that at every single moment of your life, you have to be comfortable with you. You have to be comfortable with you. You have to know that what you are doing, who you are becoming, how you engage in life now is comfortable for you. Now, when you have told somebody that that's not your flavor anymore, and they act like you didn't open your mouth and say anything, then what you have to do is begin to take a step back. And if they say, hey, I've been calling you, and what's going on? I'm about to send them a APB out there on you. Say, well, no, I've been busy, and you have. And if they want to keep digging, say, well, the last few times you've called and I've said, no, it has not ended well. And so I don't need that in my day. So I just didn't answer the phone, even though I was busy because I didn't need that to interrupt my train of thought of what I was doing. And it may be like, but yeah, but we just don't understand. Hey, you all have changed. See, this is where you can make people start thinking about themselves and their change. You say, well, listen, you all have changed. You know, I've talked about let's do this or let's go here, and y'all said, no, I don't want to go. You go ahead. I don't like that place anymore. And I've been all right with it. But now that it's me, it's like you all gonna make me stay how you want me to be, while I accept how you feel like you need to be. And that's not how friendship go. And they may say, but I haven't changed, but you have. And you can remember different experiences and show them. You remember when I called you and I said, hey, you busy tonight? You said, no, what's up? And I said, well, come on, let's go since this place. You know, we went there before and it seemed I liked that. And you said, no, I didn't like that place that good. I mean, we had fun, but I just didn't like it that good. You go ahead. You know, I'll catch, maybe you going somewhere else another time and I'll be all right with that. And I can't, and they be like, yeah, but I just didn't want to go. And that's what I'm telling you. I just don't want to go. It's not me. So why is there a bias here? You can change, but I don't have the same right to change. Well, I didn't mean it like that. No, but think about it. I'm sitting here telling you, no, I don't like that anymore. And you act like I've committed the worst sin in the world. Yet when you told me those very same words, I accepted it. And I went on. Didn't feel no type of way. We good. Went out, had me a ball, come back. We straight. So why can't I have the same grace that you have? Sometimes you have to bring that awareness to people because they don't even realize, some people don't even realize that's what they're doing. Okay. But in order for you not to cross the line into tolerance, you have to set that boundary. Now, I need you also to understand tolerance rolls into abuse. No, it doesn't. Okay. Stay right there. When somebody continues to disrespect what you have said over and over and over, and you keep tolerating it, that becomes abuse because they are abusing your personality. They're devaluing who you are as a person. They're saying you don't have the right to make those kind of choices for yourself. Really? Well, you made those choices for yourself. Same God made you, made me. So what's up? Everybody, the Constitution of the United States is for every single person in America that is an American, whether that's by birth, visa, whatever. It's an American. And they get the very same rights. Okay? Get the very same rights. So what has to happen? What has to happen is that we have to understand that we cannot allow that line of patience to spill over into the area of tolerance where people become abusive. Because the more you tolerate, the more people devalue you. Case in point, have you ever seen women who treat men like a dog? I mean, they aren't nice. They don't sound nice. They ask them, so what you want? I mean, talk to them. You thinking, and you stay with that? Those women get the utmost respect. They get the utmost care. Now, I don't agree with that because that is not what I would do. However, I've been on the borderline, but no, you still have to be careful how you talk to people. And I've really dived into it even more since my husband has been gone, past 7 years ago. With that said, we must understand that we have to do what we have to do. We need to do it. Okay? People, when you tolerate stuff, you think people are going to look at you in a good light. I've learned from experience, they don't. They look at you like you have lost your mind, or you must don't have no self-esteem or no self-love for yourself. So then they jump on the bandwagon, start treating you like nobody. That's when you need to pull back and say, wait a minute, what's going on here? This is not how I'm going to be treated going forward. You get what I'm saying? This is not how I'm going to be treated going forward. You've got to get back to your patience. All right, I've already had enough patience with this. I'm done. Now, at that point, you'll be doing a root canal. Anybody know what a root canal is? Been to a dentist. At that point, we got to cut and we got to pull out. That's the only way we're going to fix that. Real gentle, real nice. But I got to do a root canal on you. Because what they do, they don't do a root canal on you and haven't given you any anesthesia. So with anesthesia, you're going to have to do a root canal and let people know, that's enough. They can talk about you, they don't know nothing else to say. But you cut where you need to cut. Because now you're getting talked to any kind of way. Excuse me. You're finding out that folk had events and you wasn't invited. And these folk have been the people that, you know, you've been engaging with, but you've been tolerating their behavior. And you tolerating their behavior told them you don't think none of yourself. So why should we think anything of you? We don't want nobody around us like that. And so you do get left out. You do get left out. And what they're trying to tell you in their behavior is we don't value you. Because really, you don't value you. And let me be transparent here. I used to feel so bad because two sector of people that's very close to me, whenever they got ready to do something, I wasn't on the brain. Now, when I got ready to do something, I'm calling them, hey, I'm doing so and so and so. You want to go? Blah, blah, blah. You want to do? Hey. And they, oh, yeah. They would come if I called them. But when it came them doing something, going somewhere, I didn't get a phone call. This is what I would get. Either in a conversation we had, they would say, we're going to so-and-so, so-and-so. Oh, okay. Yeah. We're going to so-and-so, so-and-so. Or either I look on Facebook and I'd see all of this happening. Okay. Got it. You get where I'm coming from? At first, it hit, but I was like, I started giving excuses for it. And I said, well, maybe they thought, it might be awkward for the situation and blah, blah, blah. And so they just like, no, this is what we doing. That ain't going to sit well with her. But after it kept happening, I said, no, this is not about that. They don't value me. They don't value me. Once I became aware of how they really thought about me, then I started paying attention more to the conversations that we were having. And I started hearing stuff in the conversation that before I had just passed by. But I started paying attention until it became evident of how they really feel. At that point, I pulled right on back. And then they started, what's the matter? Why? But I said, I'm fine. But what it is, I realized how you really feel toward me. And I don't hang around people like that anymore. There are people that think I'm good company. And I see that it's not you. And it's been fine. It has been just fine. So, with that said, I need you to understand. Cut the tolerance off. Look at how many times you've allowed one particular thing to keep happening, and cut the tolerance off. Either the folk are going to respect how you feel, who you are now, or maybe they just need to become a memory. You don't need to leave with, bad air between you, but you need to cut this. Okay? You've had plenty of patience with them understanding who you are, and they are telling you in their behavior, we don't care. This is how you've been being, and you're going to stay that way, because that's the only way we're going to accept you. Well, if that's how you feel, then I'll cherish the memories of good times we've had, because I'm moving on. Once you let that be known, then you understand that you have now come back over into patience, and your boundaries are back in place. When they call, no, I appreciate it, but And if it gets to the point where I said yesterday, you're not answering the phone, just don't. They come up to the house, you step out on the porch. Oh, we can't come in? Not if you're coming in for what I think you're coming in for. No. And let it be. They'll be all right. That's what I want you to understand. They will be all right. Listen, I'm glad you came to be with me this morning. Have a good rest of your day, weekend, and I hope to see you Tuesday because we're going to talk about you learning to be okay with what you need to be okay with. Bye.